Hi students, in this lecture I'll be going over Essay 2, so let's go ahead and turn to Canvas. Okay, so over the last few weeks you've been looking at short stories and drama. Make sure that you do watch my lecture on fiction in terms, look at the PowerPoint. There's lectures and notes for all of the different stories, so do make sure that you check that out. This week you're going to be looking at literary lenses and scholarly sources. So this is all preparing you for Essay 2. There are lectures on all of these things. So make sure you watch my lecture on literary lenses and theory, and then look at the PowerPoint as well. I'm going to give you a brief little explanation. In literature, we tend to look at stories through lenses. And you can really think of this metaphorically as like a pair of glasses. Every time you put on a different pair of glasses, you see something different in the story. And those glasses you can think of metaphorically as the lens. So let's say there's a pair of glasses for feminist theory. There's a pair of glasses for Marxist criticism. There's a pair of glasses for psychoanalytical theory. And there's a pair of glasses for critical race theory. And every time you put those glasses on, you're going to see different things in the text, right? So different things will be highlighted and emphasized. And that's kind of why we do that. So I go over all this stuff in the lecture and on the PowerPoint, so do make sure that you look at that. You're going to be doing a few different things this week. The first thing is you're going to be looking at literary lenses and kind of posting a discussion post about what you've learned about that. And so again, go ahead and use my lecture and the PowerPoint as reference. You can also do a quick Google search, look at Wikipedia. Purdue OWL is a great place to look at literary theory and criticism and what they are. Then you're going to be talking about scholarly articles. So make sure you do watch my lecture on that, which also goes with the library search engine link. And then I have a collection of scholarly articles. So these are all articles about the stories through specific lenses. So feel free to use any of these, but you're not limited. You can also do your own searching. You can look at things that you want to look at. You can see what your peers are posting. If you have questions about if something is credible or not, please just message me via Canvas and send me the link to the source, and I will tell you immediately if it's credible or not. It's pretty easy to tell. So that's what you're going to be doing. Now, when you're looking at these articles, it doesn't necessarily have to be about the story. It can be about the lens itself, or it could be about literature in general with the lens in mind, right? So really, like, it just depends. So let's say you're looking at Franz Kafka and you're talking about psychoanalytical theory, and you want to talk about his psychosis. You could look up articles that are credible about his psychosis, and you can use those in your paper, because that is under the lens of psychoanalytical theory. So again, you have a lot of breadth of things that you can look at and discuss in this paper. So let me go to Essay 2. So Essay 2 is a little complicated, more so than the first paper. It's longer as well. It's 4 to 5 pages with 4 minimum. And you're really going to be doing two things. You're going to be looking at the story through the literary lens. So you're going to pick one literary lens, and you can look at one or multiple stories. It's really up to you. So pick the stories that you're really interested in, or pick the lens that you really want to work with, and then go from there. You're going to need at least 2 scholarly sources. That does not count the text. The text is a separate source, right? And those scholarly sources can be from Purdue OWL. They can be from the list I provided. You can have more than 2, of course, but 2 is the minimum, okay? And in your conclusion, make sure that you do follow the prompt, because some of you haven't been doing that. And all I'm asking you to do in the conclusion is talk about why you chose the story or stories and the literary lens that you decided on, right? And you're really going to be looking critically at that story or stories through one literary lens in this essay. Okay, so let me go to the essay checklist. Always refer to the essay checklist. I've provided them for each essay. It just kind of helps as a guide. Again, it's 4 full pages minimum. Make sure that you have an original title, not Essay 2, not the title of your lens or the title of your story. Think about what theme are you discussing? What's your topic for your paper? Come up with a catchy, title that's like original. In your introduction, you're going to be introducing the author's full name as well as the story. And remember, in MLA formatting, stories are put in quotation marks. They're not italicized, okay? So quotation marks for all the story titles. Provide a little bit of summary of the text, short, doesn't have to be long, and then introduce your critical lens. And you can literally, in your introduction, say, in this paper, I will be looking through this lens. And then tell us what that lens is and provide the source, whether it's Purdue OWL or Wikipedia or wherever you find the information about the source itself, the critical theory, right? In your thesis statement, again, it's going to be a little bit more complicated than the last paper, but remember, the artist and the writer is unaware of the literary theory. You are the only one aware of it, right? You're putting on those glasses and you're looking at the story through that lens. So the author themselves is unaware of it. So you might want to word your thesis statement something like, by looking at the hunger artist through, the psychoanalytical lens, it's clear that the author is highlighting blank in order to show whatever, right? So thinking about like, what is the lens you're using, right? And what is it showing through the story, right? What is the story like really showing you by looking through that lens, okay? So yeah, and then do make sure that you provide a works cited page. I know it's a little bit more confusing because you're using online sources, right? But it's always the same, and no matter what, right? It's always author's last name and first name, or if you're using an organization like Purdue OWL, they're the author, right? And then the title of the page you're using, or the title of the article, the source you got it from, so in this case Purdue OWL, or for us it was the English 110 Canvas site, the URL, and then the access date. It's always the same. If you have questions about this, just send me a little message via Canvas and I can help you format that, okay? And that's basically it. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and best of luck.